Now in the following of our JavaScript tutorials, we're going to work with the strings, and as a result I'm going to create a new file and call it strings.js. There we go. And we also need to create another HTML file for debugging, and here we have one for debugging as well. So here, let me do this with the functions and change its name to strings.html. Also here I need to change this to strings. There we go. Okay, let us also close some of these other opened files. Objects, for example, functions, data types, output to operators. Okay, strings, objects, data types, operators, and variables. Okay, there we go. And here is the HTML file, and this is the JavaScript file. So we've talked about strings a little bit during our tutorials up to now, but now we're going to dive deep into strings in JavaScript. So generally, to define a string, we can write let, for example, my name, and can be equal to James. And then in order to concatenate the strings, we can use plus. So for example, this is, instead of my name, is the first name. This is first name. Let first name be James, and let last name be equal to Thompson. Oh, that's right. Okay, save this. So we want to have another variable, and that is full name. So the full name, in order to concatenate the two strings, we can use plus. So you can have first name plus, and then we also need a space, so double quote space plus last name, and then we can console log both of the full name itself. So console log, and here is full name. So there we go. Let's save this and get into, oh, this is the events, and these are the videos. Okay, here we need to be looking for the strings, and there we go, strings.html. And here is the Google Chrome page for strings.html. And let's go after inspect elements, and there we go, inside of the console. Something seems to be wrong here for the strings. There is this unexpected token, and that seems to be about the HTML code. There has to be a problem with the tag here. Let's look for it. Seems no problem. So let me just change something and save this again. And okay, this is not JS, this is HTML. That's right now. There we go, James Thompson, and there is a space between them. You can also use concatenate method. So instead of writing it this way, you can use concatenate method, concat first name and last name. So let's save this and try it. there seems to be a problem with this function, using this function. Shouldn't write it this way. Instead, we should write first name dot concat, and then we can write last name. And by the way, because we need a space between them, we can also add the space between the double quotes, and that should work. So let's save the code and check the result in the console of the Google Chrome. And as you can see, James Thompson is the full name. So that's it. So this is the other way of concatenating strings. So there are so many methods we can use inside of the JavaScript in order to deal with the strings. So one of them is to count the number of characters inside of the string. So to do that, we can use the length method. So we can write console.log, and then, for example, we want to know the first name length dot length, the second one. And because it's a function, it needs to have parentheses. So let's save this and see what the result will be. There seems to be a problem with this one as well. So let's see what the problem is. There seems to be a problem with this one. Maybe no parentheses needed for that. I will check this. So there's this property, and okay. Let us remove the parentheses and check this. I think it needs parentheses. So, okay, there is no error here. And let's check the console. As you can see, 5 is the length of James. So this is a method, not a function, so we need no parentheses. There are also times when we want to cut a string into half, or slice the string. So there we use the slice method. So let me define another string. Let sentence be equal to, and here I'm going to define a new string. So let us write a kind of string that we know how many characters it has and from where we want to cut it into half. So for example, my car is blue. And here we want to only have blue here. So here we use a slice. So I should write console.log sentence dot slice, and here we can determine from where we want to actually cut the sentence or slice the sentence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I think 10 is good. So let's try it with a single number, see if there's no problem. And if you want to know everything about this method, you can check it out. As you can see, we have the start number and also the end number. Both are needed. But what if we write only the start number? Let us see what happens there. So I will try this. Save the code. As you can see, it works. So it only shows blue. And here, the thing that happened here, we counted the number of characters up to blue. So there were 10 characters before blue, and this was the starting of the slice. So imagine we don't want, we have an exclamation mark here at the end, and we don't want to have it. So we can write the end characters, 11, 12, 13, 14, and here I'm going to write 14. So Save this and refresh the page. As you can see, we have blue. If I do not write 14 here, so let me cut this, save the code and try it again. As you can see, we have the exclamation mark. But then press Ctrl Z and save the code, refresh the page. In the console, you will only see blue without exclamation mark. So that's it. We can also use this, and so here imagine that you want to have from the beginning up to my car. So here I can write 0 up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So up to 7, save this. And so probably we should write 6. Let us try. Okay, let's save the code and try this on the Google Chrome. Okay, here is it is written my car. So that's correct up to now. So here is where we slice the string. Also notice that you can use the negative numbers here. So if I use -6 or a minus number, so it will start from the ending. So for example, if I write -1, and so that will start from the exclamation mark. So let's write -2 here and nothing afterwards. Let's see what happens here. So E and exclamation mark. If I write -1, it will be just the exclamation mark. As you can see, just the exclamation mark shows up. We also have another method which is substring, and it works exactly the same as a slice, but we don't have negative numbers in it. It doesn't understand the negative numbers. So instead of a slice, I can write substring, as you can see. And if I save this with negative number, let's see if you've got anything. Because it does not understand negative numbers, we have the entire sentence. So let us write some positive numbers. So for example, we want it to be from 3 to 4, 5, 6 to 6, which will be just probably the car itself. And as you can see, only car is printed out. So that's pretty much the same as a slice. Substring works in the same way. We also have another method which is substr instead of substring, and the difference this has with, okay, let me try. Seems to be deprecated because substr. Let me try this in another way. And we don't have substr anymore. It seems that it's deprecated. Substr, no, it's not deprecated. And so we should be able to write some numbers in it. So it prints to steady out new line in const count. So generally how it used to work was you would write the beginning of the string and then the number of characters afterwards. So for example, if you had written 3 and 3, it will show you car because it would start from the third character and then 3 characters afterwards the third character. So car would be printed out here. So let us try this on the Google Chrome and see what happens. Also, let us write the numbers that we wanted to write. 3 and 3. let's save this and try again on the Google Chrome. As you can see, car shows up. So I don't think that what the code editor says is correct because it's not running. As you can see here, you also have the method explained here. So it says that it's deprecated, but it works. Interesting. So using these three slice substring and substr and JavaScript, you will be able to slice the string and see part of it. Now, what if you want to search for something inside of your string and you want to print everything afterwards that? So for example, you have a colon inside your string, so let sentence to be equal to, for example, my car is, and then we have column and BMW. So we want to console log whatever is after the column. So we want to know the car itself, what it is. In order to do that, we can write console log, and then we should search for the item. So here we have the index of, and index of will find the kind of a string that you want for you, the kind of character you're looking for, or the kind of substring that you're looking for. So here sentence to index of, and you're looking for column, right? So inside of the string, you're looking for the column, and whatever it is will be it will show that. So let us first see if this one works, and then we will use it in order to print whatever is after BMW using the substr, or using the slice method, which is easier one. So let us save and see what happens. Okay, 11 is the index of that, so it will start from 11. Now we will use this and use sentence to dot slice, and then we have the number that shows column. So the placement of the column is the index 7. So this is the 11th character of the string, and then we want to slice the string from afterwards this character. So let's save this and see what happens. So we have sliced the strings using the index of the character we want it to start afterwards, or slice it afterwards. So save the code and refresh the page, and as you can see, BMW shows up with the column. So if I use plus here, +1 here, we will be able to see only the type of the car, which is BMW. Save the code and refresh the page. As you can see, BMW shows up. And if you don't want to have this, even this space, you can write 2 instead of 1. Save the code, refresh the page, and that's it. That's what you want here. Okay, so in this way we can look for or search for anything that we want in a character or word that we want inside of the string. And right after that, we can print whatever is after. So for example, if we are looking for the car and we write car instead of column, car, and then instead of 2, we can write the length of the car. So I can write car and dot length, right? So it has 3 characters, so it will be +3. Also can write +1 to remove the space afterwards car. Let's save this, refresh the page, is colon BMW. Perfect. So that is exactly what we've been looking for. Also here, instead of 2, we could have written colon.length, but we all know that colon is just 1 character. This is useful for when we're looking for a very long string and then we want to print whatever afterwards. So for example, it could be this whole long string. Okay, so that's it for slicing the strings and also searching for a character or string within a string. And this is pretty much useful in so many circumstances, especially working and dealing with the websites. But there are also so many other methods. So up to now we've got familiar with searching and slicing the strings. But there are times that we want to remove the empty spaces. So for example, we have let sentence 3 equals to, and we have a space at the beginning. My name is Thomas Edison. Right, cool. And at the end we have space. So my name is Thomas Edison, and we want to remove the space from the beginning and the ending of the string. So here we use trim, and trim will allow you to do that. We'll do that for you. So console log, and then we can write sentence 3 dot trim, and let's see if it needs any parentheses. I don't think it needs, so let us save the code. Save the code and check for the console. Oh, it seems to need parentheses, so let us also add parentheses afterwards. Save the code, refresh the page, see the console. So yeah, as you can see, it's been removed. So if I console.log the sentence 3 itself, it will show the sentence with the spaces at the beginning and at the end. So sentence 3 dot trim parentheses. Save the code and refresh the page. So no difference, actually, very interesting. And oh, okay, because we have used trim again. So funny. So save the code and refresh the page. Okay, here as you can see we have space at the beginning, but after using trim this space has been removed.